Evening all. Hope we're doing well. It's a bit late for me. I should be in bed. I'm going to be talking quite quietly because I've got a wife and two kids are asleep. But I want to get this out tonight. So you've got the full day to watch it tomorrow. Tomorrow being Sunday. We've got the deadline at 8 o'clock tomorrow night. Let's get into it. Right. It was a decent game week, I think. Good start to the competition. Only two match days we've had. You need to bear in mind how a lot of other teams, a lot of other fantasy teams would have played their wild card or played a chip this game week. Because I was looking at somebody else's team thinking, why has he got 20 more points than me? And I realised he'd played his wild card. So yeah, bear in mind if you're seeing people with really, really good scores, they might have played a chip. And as I mentioned before, I'm not a big fan of playing both chips in the group stage. As I've said before, if the shocks in the knockout stage, you're going to be very lucky to get enough players for subsequent rounds, especially if there's shocks. So let's have a look at the team quickly, briefly. As always, or well, quite often is the case in fantasy football, if you're nearly captain, that just makes up for the players who just blank. Wasn't looking good early on in the game week when I had three of these players. Just getting 1 point each in Modric, another disappointment, but good scores across the back. Good day to day. Can't believe Lukaku hasn't scored a goal. And three ruled. Very unlucky. So, yep, that's how the team ran the numbers. Let's get the spreadsheet up. So it's been trimmed down now that we're just getting into one match day at a time. So the last game of the group stage, match day 3. This is the data for it. I'll talk about that, or talk about the fixtures in this round. So this is how we are projecting, looking at match day 3. So if your flag, or if your country's flag is further to the right, you've got a better attack, and if it's further towards the top, you've got a better defense. Obviously, there, down there, corner. But the problem is for this game week is working out who's going to play. So out of this cluster here of the favourites, you've got Spain and Portugal, who are group winners, and Germany, who are very likely going to be group winners. They just need to score. Obviously, I'm going to have 3 England, even though England have not played well at all, and 3 from France, possibly 2 from Germany. Even if Germany needed a win, looking at the minutes, what's happened so far, you've got players like, if I bring up my team back up. So Gundo's played was 85 and 90 minutes. Wirtz has got taken off around the 70-minute mark or 60, 70-minute each game, and the same with Havertz. It might be different in the knockout stages where it's a one-off game. These top players might be playing closer to 90 minutes, or they might not, but it's a risk looking forward. I won't be having either of these in my team just because I don't want players taken off after 67 minutes. I want players who are going to play. So if I was to have a Germany midfielder or attacker, it would be Gundo. Really. Getting ahead of ourselves. Back to this chart here. So the big issue with these two teams is projecting the minutes. There's very likely going to be a lot of rotation. The good thing about Spain is, so tomorrow being Sunday, Spain play Monday night. So hopefully we'll get some leaks about their team, likely to be their team. Portugal, not too sure what rotations are going to be happening for them. I would have thought that Ronaldo would play again. He would want to score a goal and set more records or extend records that he's got already. But it's not a given. We know that Rafael Leao, isn't going to play. He's got 2 yellow cards, so it's likely Jota's going to play. He's listed as a forward, and Don't really want to have Jota in the team taking up a forward spot. I'm going to close that down. Let's get the spreadsheet up and running. Have a look at it. Filter by each position. Just looking at it there, Harry Kane is the top point scorer for the whole game week. Start at the forwards. So the three, well, there's two definites that I'm going to have. I'm definitely going to have Kane. Some people are speculating that Kane's going to be dropped. I'd be amazed if he dropped. We'll talk quickly about the England team. Because I'm English. Know that we have people here from all around the world, so you might not know exactly what's going on. Thing with England, I've been watching England for 30 years. I know I don't look that old, but I am. And in that time, I can probably count on two hands the amount of games that England actually played well. And I wouldn't need all my fingers on both hands either. So when England play badly and everybody just loses it, well, come on, we've been here before. We know England don't play well. Everybody's got an opinion. And so first rule of predicting is it's not so much what you think Southgate should do, it's what he is going to do. That's important. I'm here on Play Sharper. I do check this site when I'm setting minutes. Sometimes the lineups are quite accurate, very good. Sometimes there's good information here in the comments. There's nothing here, and I would think this lineup isn't very good, to be honest with you. They're saying Anthony Gordon has a 50% chance of starting. Well, hasn't played any minutes at all in this competition. Southgate is very cautious. It's unlikely he's going to start a player who hasn't even brought off the bench yet. Harry Kane, 70% chance of starting. It's unless he's carrying an injury, but if he's fit, he's going to start. Ignoring the percentages, I do think this team is what the team is likely going to be, apart from Gordon. I still think Foden keeps his place, and Conor Gallagher, Brent, the rest I think are going to start for England. So Harry Kane, I'm going to have Harry Kane in mind. I'm going to have Jude in mind. And I'm going to have a defender, probably Mark Gahey. Keep him in. So those are my thoughts about England. Just going back to what Southgate should do, what I think he should do, and what he will do are two different things. I do think Gordon should start. We need somebody who's going to run in behind the defence. We need someone who's going to hug the touchline, who's got that pace to run ahead, because Kane is slow. He needs runners beside him. Kyle Walker, right back, he offers nothing in attack. Would be much better off with Trent there. And Kieran Trippier. This is a decision that Southgate is going to we'll look back on and think, what is Southgate doing? We haven't got a fit left back. We haven't got a fit left-footed left back. He's playing a washed-up right back as left back. And I say that he's washed up because I'm a Newcastle fan, and Trippier, his performance over the second half of the season has gone downhill. Anyway, that's enough about England. I just going back here, I'm going to have Kane in my team, definitely. I'm going to have Lukaku in my team. Hopefully he kicks the ball in the net, flag doesn't go up. And my third spot is either going to be Griezmann or Mbappe. See Mbappe's minutes, I've got him marked down as a 75% chance of starting. Looking at the reports, there was a friendly game, a behind the doors friendly game for French players who didn't start or didn't play against Holland. They played a under 21 team, a German team's under 21 team, and Mbappe played 60 odd minutes, scored a couple of goals, a couple of assists. You could say that's promising. At least he's able to play football with his mask on. So my decision for my third spot is between Griezmann, who is certain to play, and Mbappe, I think probably will play. Obviously, if Mbappe does play, Griezmann's numbers aren't as good. He won't be on penalty. He won't be as advanced as what he was the other day against Holland. He was very unlucky not to score. Midfielders. As I mentioned, I'm going to have Jude in the team. Ericsson, I like him. Have him in the team. Kevin De Bruyne, definitely, and Soboslai, if that's how you say his name. He's going to be in the team. He's a slight injury doubt as well. I think the last couple of days I read he hasn't trained as normal, doing some work inside to get himself fit. I think he's carrying an injury, but I do think he's going to start. And he's got a great projected score, even if he plays 69 minutes. That's a great score. Hungary against Scotland is the sort of game where both teams need to win. There's likely to be more goals. Soboslai is the, he does everything for Hungary on all sets. He's on all pens, and so yeah, he's got to be in my team. My fifth midfield spot is a bit of a tricky one. I've got Chanahoglu in quite high, but my gut feeling is if I was to look into his underlying numbers, I don't think he would get that higher score. This is a Euro, so you've got games coming every day. It's not like FPL where I've got a whole week to have a look at the data, sort it all out, or even UCL where it would be 2 weeks, game weeks. If I had time, I would look at this tomorrow, but I do feel that he plays quite deep for Turkey. Although I did see a pass map on Twitter and just everything went through. But everything going through you doesn't necessarily get you points. He's playing quite deep. Sure, I want him in my team. Gundo, I still like him. The good thing about Germany is we see that lineup before the deadline. You can see who's playing. The manager said he's likely to start the same team, but there'll probably be early substitutions again. Gundo might be at risk of an early sub. I have reduced the minutes for most of the players, well, especially the attackers. I mean, forecasting him at 72, quite low. So my fifth spot for midfielders, Chanaloglu, I'm not too, maybe Gundo. But if we consider captains, I'm going to have, well, there's only 4 days again. I'm going to have Soboslai, I'm going to have Kane, I'm going to have KDB, and I'm going to have Fernandez. Also going to have Jude. I've got plenty of captaincy options apart from the 24th. And if we have a look at who's playing on the 24th, filter by date here. Or say that we've got Spain, Croatia, Italy, and Albania. Thing about Italy, I read a report that DeMarco is unlikely to play for them. I filtered on midfielders, bring in everybody to see if there's any decent players on this day or players that I want. Don't think Calafiori, he's going to play. Not someone you're likely to see a haul from. But looking at the leaks so far, the speculation about Spain, probably going to take Grimaldo, a attacking left back. I think I'm going to have him. It's a safer option to go for a defender. I'm not sure I want to wait. I might waste. I might have my final midfielder spot going to. Will he butcher his name? Olazabal. Is he going to play up front or left wing for Spain? And he's likely going to be on pens with the absence of Rodri Rata. I do think he's likely to start, but his minutes probably fairly low. There's not that many other spectacular options though in midfield. So as I mentioned before, might get more leaks tomorrow. Tomorrow being Sunday, Spain team likely to be. I've got to have at least one Spanish player, captaincy option, 24th of June. I think Olazabal might make it in there as my fifth spot. Probably going to have Grimaldo in defence as well, and I think it's likely that Raya is going to start in goal for Spain. Going back to this chart, Spain project to have a good defence. I'm sure I read that Unai Simon is carrying an injury, and he's going to have surgery when they get knocked out of the Euros or when the Euros finish. So it makes sense that he's not going to play this game, and I think Raya's second in line. Seems likely that Raya's going to start in goal, so I'm going to have Raya in as one of my 2 goalkeepers. Let's talk about defenders. Might be quite a long video. Apologise, but you know what I do when I watch videos? Always at least 1.5 speed, usually 2. Rifle through it. All about efficiency here. Theo Hernandez, absolute lock. The team, whether you're on a wild card or limitless, he has to be in the team. France's defence, very good. France have got a good fixture against Poland. Poland being eliminated. Hernandez, he plays 90 minutes every game for France. He gets forward. He's got to be in the team. So I'm going to have Hernandez in it. Also going to have another French defender. I'm going to go for Koundé. Right back, he's nailed as well. I do think there's not much in it between the other French defenders, but I'm going to go for him, Koundé. And Mark Gahey for England. I think he's absolutely nailed. He's going to play. Look for other defenders. So I'm going to have 2 players from France. I'm going to have Hernandez, the other fullback Koundé. I'm going to have Gahey. I'm going to have Grimaldo for Spain, assuming that he's going to start. Fifth spot. Van Dijk projects quite highly. That's assuming he's on. Which isn't a certainty. I think my other spot is going to go to Germany defender. Mittelstadt done well so far. Played 90 both games. A safer pick. I think there's a chance of him getting substituted quite early for David Raum in this game. Whereas a centre half like Jonathan Tah or Rudiger, quite a safe pick. They're unlikely. A centre half is unlikely to get taken off, whereas a fullback has more of a chance of getting taken off early. Finally, look at goalkeepers. So, not going to have. I've got 3 England players elsewhere. Germany, 3 France players elsewhere. Sorry. I'm going to go for Manuel Neuer. He plays tomorrow, Sunday, 23rd, and also David Raya. Great fixture for Spain against Albania. Don't play on the same day. He plays on the 24th. Get my note. But team. I was wondering, could I get through this game week without using a chip and chance? That up slightly. So Havertz, likely to start, but likely to get subbed off around the 70 minutes for Fulkrug, Dortmund player. I don't want him in the team. Wirtz, good player, but another likely 70-minute substitution. Don't want him. Don't want the 2 players for Croatia. Bruno's a bit of a risk, whether he's going to, how many minutes he's going to play. Same with Cancelo. Gahey, like him. Van Dijk could easily stay in the team. DeMarco, lightly injured. Lunin, not going to play. Face, he's all right. So basically, I'm going to be giving up a lot of points if I just make 2 free transfers. So here's a one I prepared earlier. This is my likely team, my likely limitless team for match day 3. So there's 3 players I'm not 100% about. So third forward spot is either going to be Mbappe or Griezmann. Hopefully get more information about that. I mean, Griezmann's a dead cert to play. I say a dead cert. And he a dead cert to play. And Mbappe he's likely going to play. Fifth midfield spot. It's probably not going to be Chanal. It might be Gundo, or more likely it's going to be Olazabal. Happy with all of the places. From Rudiger, it's probably going to be Rudiger. Both goalkeepers. So that's how we're looking right now. As of nearly midnight on a Saturday. Things to note, so I'm about to send you an. Well, why would you be watching this video if I hadn't sent you? And tell you that I might, if I have time tomorrow, I'll run an update of the number. But next match days in the future, there'll be 1 or 2 days between match days, so rush to get this out. More time to investigate certain players. Channel Boggling, which I've mentioned a few times. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a good night. Be in touch. Any questions, just send us an email. I will respond. Don't worry about bothering me. All right. Bye for now.